Well, earlier we had a police chase, and it looks like, yep, we have another one going on right now as LAPD right now is in pursuit of a stolen car here. Sky Fox up high above. You're watching live here on Live Now from Fox as we continue to bring this to you. Like I was saying earlier, that these somehow, I don't know what it is, but sometimes these police chases that we have, they come in bunches here, and it just seems like, yep, we have another one going right here. And of course, we got it covered for you right here on Live Now from Fox. And this one, though, is going at a high rate of speed here. We are taking a look here at this minivan that is really whipping right now. And as soon as we get some, if we see the coverage there from Fox 11, we're going to go to that. But right now, we are taking this to you live right here on Live Now from Fox. Viewer discretion is advised because of these just really high rates of speed here. Suspect really no shame right here at all, trying to evade authorities. Right now, I'm just updating the lower third here graphic so that when new people come on, they'll definitely know what is going on right here. Just wanted to let our great viewers know what is happening here. So like I was saying earlier, we did have a chase this morning. It went 3 hours. This one just starting out here for us, and we appreciate all our viewers coming in. I know with police chases here, you start maybe from the beginning. I know you're going to come all the way until the end right here to watch it with us. And what we'll do is we'll just keep this up for you live, raw, and unfiltered right now. And in just moments, my colleague Andy Mack here will have the play-by-play here as well. As soon as we see coverage of Fox 11, if they take it to their air, we will bring it to you right here on Live Now from Fox as well. But Sky Fox images showing this right now. Suspect stole this minivan, now taking it on a joyride here, and unfortunately for that owner, has to now watch this coverage here and just hope that there won't be much damage, and if at all, here to the vehicle. Okay, what do we have here? Pulling over to the side of the shoulder, and then thought about it and then said no. Chase continues right now as police continue to pursue this suspect here. That was something. Okay, now we're not even going to try to stop for the red here. We're just going to continue on, almost hitting that blue car right there, weaves out of the way, and now runs through the light, and the chase continues. As you know, we've seen these, especially when they get to the side streets. That is when problems happen. That's when crashes happen here. So we're hoping that isn't the case there, but you never know. And again, our viewers are joining us here today live from all over the country as this chase now continues in the Los Angeles area of a stolen minivan here at this moment. And police continue to track it right here. What will the suspect do? That is the true wild card moment here that we just don't know. Obviously, if they have a wild card willing to steal a vehicle, you just don't know what they are going to do next. We do have now Fox 11, our great team out there in Los Angeles. They have the play-by-play here as well as this chase continues on. Let's listen to their coverage.
the ground units to get their ways back over here to where this is. Laurel Canyon and Paxton. You can see him making a hard turn right there. Once again, keeping a little bit better than the speeds on the roadway, but definitely breaking a lot of laws. Here we go going against traffic and really starting to kick up that speed. Now, what is the exact want for this vehicle? Well, that one's a tough one, because at first they were saying it was a carjacking, then they were saying it wasn't a carjacking. There was another vehicle underneath the bridge, a silver Mercedes. That went one way, this one another. And the LAPD airship stayed with this one. Got onto the freeway, but then kind of got off and made this big U-turn, and the ground units started following the wrong car. So now this vehicle is making its way up here into the Pacoima area. You can see those speeds right there. Let me put up that speedometer for you. We're going to try to keep it in the shot, especially on this roadway right here. Paxton, that is going to be one of those ones that parallels the freeway. And also, this van seems to really enjoy going underneath the freeway and then not coming out. He did come out again this time. There you go, getting really tight, squeezing through there. A lot of traffic. Looks like he wants to get back onto the freeway, and he's going to accomplish it right there. Now, LAPD, they're trying to get their ducks in a row. I'm not saying that in any kind of mean way. There are a lot of cars on the road this afternoon, and this vehicle moving very, very quickly. The communication, well, they're trying to get it to those ground guys, and they're trying to get a police car behind it. Right now, looks like we're getting back onto the 118 freeway, and you can see those speeds are really starting to pick up. I'd like to show you those speeds. There they are. Sorry about that. And you can see those speeds now, almost 100 miles an hour. It's a Dodge Caravan, and you can see it moving along at quite a good clip. Oh, okay, copy all. I thought we had somebody in the studio down there that I was going to be talking with. Sorry about that, but you can see those speeds really moving along out here this afternoon. Again, what is the original want? We're saying we're going to just kind of go with right now a carjacking suspect. Don't know if that's the car that he actually carjacked, or maybe that is just his vehicle. But right now, very, very high speeds. A lot of the folks on the freeway this afternoon not really knowing about what's going on. Very, very high speeds. The helicopter, the LAPD helicopter, that's the one that's going to be behind it, and only thing that is from law enforcement. So also, in a way, you might think, well, are we in pursuit or are we in tracking? Well, we are kind of in a tracking mode just because of the fact that we do not have any law enforcement on the ground behind it. Now, California Highway Patrol, they are going to be notified of this. They might have a unit on the freeway over here, might just be doing patrol, but be able to get behind this, and then it would become a full-fledged pursuit once again. Right now, though, this vehicle moving very, very quickly. LAPD making those calls, telling the ground units how to get in this area, or try to get them in this area. That van starting to use all the lanes of traffic out here. That's also a very dangerous move. 100 miles an hour in that Caravan. Well, we all know it. I'm not putting anything down on that vehicle, but not known for its high performance tactics. That driver behind the wheel, also, I would venture to say, probably not a trained driver. And now we're in that carpool lane going about 100 and something miles an hour. Now, this is the 118 freeway. Anybody that lives in the area knows that speeds on the 118, well, they're probably posted at 65, but if anybody's going 65, they better be in that slow lane. This freeway always has a lot of high-speed traffic, but this afternoon, this Caravan moving at 100 miles an hour plus, and you can see it right there, passing all those other vehicles like they're almost like they're standing still. LAPD, they're the only ones behind it right now, and when I say behind it, I mean above and behind, because it's the helicopter, and they're the only ones there right now. Going to keep an ear on the scanner while I keep you guys updated on where this is going and how this is going, but I'd like to know if they are able to get California Highway Patrol behind it, and or possibly another LAPD vehicle. But right now, you can see that vehicle just kind of moving around, slowing down. At least got it out of the triple digits. That's a huge plus. But apparently, this vehicle's still moving along. Whoa! Whoa! And that is exactly what we're always worried about. Roxy, I hear you're joining us.
Yes, you heard me there with my whoa. Yeah, Stu, it's been a busy morning for both of us. This is our second pursuit we've been following this morning. So here we go. We're on the 118 freeway. This car driving recklessly, speeding, even on the freeway, going extremely high rate of speed and very, very careless. And it's interesting because this is the same car that was involved earlier in a crash, right, in Burbank, and this is now a stolen vehicle out of Ventura. Is that right?
You know what, Roxy, if that's the information that our assignment desk is giving you, then this is all going to be starting to make sense, because LAPD very, very interested in this vehicle. They've been chasing it for quite some time, apparently, and it's been eluding officers. But if this is the one that's involved in that crash from earlier on in the Burbank area involving LAPD officers, then that is for sure the reason why they want that suspect in custody. We're getting off the freeway here. You can see it right there. Reseda, this is always very busy. Not a good decision on that driver's part, making that turn going up to the north here. Looks like we're going to be heading towards Rinaldi, but this is always a very busy intersection out here. It looks like we got lucky right now. Seems like there isn't that much traffic, but again, that Caravan moving at 100 miles an hour plus and in for quite a bit of time, making his way onto Reseda Boulevard, stopping there in traffic. That's the first time we've seen this vehicle actually stop. Now, it's been going under these overpasses on the freeway. That's kind of where it was hiding just moments ago, but then we've seen it live. There's been a couple of times he could have made that same stunt. A little hard on the wheel there as we're Skyfox directly above it. Got a good look at that driver's hand on the wheel. Look at that on the center divider. Going to do a little pirouette here. Hope everybody took their Dramamine at home, but that vehicle continued to move along at a good clip on Reseda Boulevard, and it seems like we're heading back into the valley right now. It's going to be more and more traffic, and if he keeps those high speeds up, I am very worried for the public safety and of course that suspect as well. But right now, 80 miles an hour on Reseda Boulevard, that is unheard of, using the bicycle lane right there and making his way up to what looks like a red light and a hard right turn here as we're making our turn on the Chatsworth. Now, Roxy, just real quick, the Chatsworth was where we picked this thing up just moments ago. This is where it all started, was underneath the 118 freeway and Chatsworth. I know we're on the other end of the valley, but he's been going about 100 miles an hour. Makes me wonder why he wants to go back to Chatsworth all the time.
Yeah, that is interesting, but you know, we always talk about it with these pursuits. These suspects end up going areas that they're familiar with, or maybe they have an invested interest in. So the fact that he keeps circling back to this area in Chatsworth and the 118 there makes you wonder. So Stu, following this closely, it looks like there's only one driver, that's at least what we think, in that vehicle,
right.
One person inside of that car. We have no idea, you know, if this person is armed, what they're capable of, what they have with them. But obviously the demeanor of this individual is one that he's reckless and careless and doesn't seem to be all that concerned about endangering others. Almost like the mentality of nothing to lose, which can be a very, very dangerous place to be.
Definitely, and when you said it exactly correctly, embrazened. You know, he was in pursuit, or apparently, if this is the vehicle, which I believe our assignment desk would get that information correct, if this is that vehicle, he had lost an LAPD pursuit earlier on. Maybe he thinks he can do it again. I know we're getting close to, I haven't looked out the window because this vehicle moving so quickly and making these crazy maneuvers, but I know we are near the Northridge Mall, and I'm hoping that if the LAPD helicopter is picking that up as well, I'm just worried that this van is going to try to make his way over to that mall and then hide in that parking structure. We've seen that so often in the past, but right now, though, you can see him right there. Tampa going 60 miles an hour, passing everybody in that center divider. This is an unbelievably dangerous. This is an area that's always packed. You got a California Highway Patrol right there, and whoa, that was a solid red. That was a solid red. And, you know, this is the thing. It's like my blood runs cold every time that happens. And I always worry there's somebody that just doesn't know what's going on, and then don't mean that like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Who expects somebody to go through an intersection at almost 60 miles an hour when it is a solid red? More traffic, that means there is another red light coming up or coming up on Plummer there. So we're very close to the mall. Got his way through that one too. Extremely lucky. I wouldn't say skill at all, but it looks like we are going to be paralleling the mall right here, keeping an eye on it. He's not slowing down, so I'm thinking we're just going to go right past it.
Yeah, there have been so many close calls just in the last... Oh, my goodness. So many close calls, losing track of that. But, yeah, most of the people down below, I mean, unless they're listening to the radio, we have to assume that they don't know what's going on. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because people are just following, you know, the rules. They're driving the way they're supposed to, stopping when they're supposed to, going when they're supposed to go, and then you have pedestrians on top of that, maybe even bicyclists mixed into it. And if you don't know what's going on, you're not going to be paying attention and backing away from this guy. And this guy doesn't seem to care. And look at that. The speed is just unbelievable.
Jeez. Yeah, unbelievable, and he's getting that little bit of a bounce. We're on Nordhoff Way. There's a lot of S-turns out here. We've covered a couple of fatal head-ons because of those S-turns that are coming up, and it looks like we've already made our way past that, cutting through the gas station right there, making their way. Let's see if he stops. It looks like he stopped here. And maybe it's just because he can't get through, but definitely looks like he stopped there for a moment. We're going to get Skyfox to keep moving just in case he jumps out. It looks like he's coming through the other side, going very, very slow. I hope this guy is not looking for another carjacking victim, because remember, this is a carjacking suspect. So we're going to keep an eye on that, and hopefully he's not going to try to jump out and try to take somebody else's vehicle. But again, we're underneath that awning right there. We're going to see what's going on. But unusual activity for sure, kind of backing up. But this is something, it's like, look at the amount of time we're spending here. LAPD, the helicopter's got to be calling this out. I'm going to stay a little bit wider as he's making his way. There's the LAPD helicopter. Just wondering where the LAPD. Oh, there they come. There they come. They're getting there. They're in the area, but they're on. I believe that's going to be on Corbin. Yeah. So they're on the other side. This is going to be one of those ones where it's going to look like, you know, they don't know what they're doing, but there's that. The van doesn't know the officers are there. There they go. Now he spotted them. And the pursuit's back on again. Whoop, getting back on to Corbin. And now we're going to be heading northbound on Corbin. Again, you can see all these cars out here. This is a very busy part of town. We're going to go right by the Olive Garden. That's actually at Nordhoff and Corbin. And there it goes, right through that intersection. And the speeds back up to those high speeds again. LAPD, I venture to say, they will not be matching those speeds, especially out here on these surface streets.
Yeah, that was a strange move there into that gas station. For a moment, I was even thinking, like, is he going to stop and fill up? That would have been interesting. Yeah. It's been quite a morning with the earlier pursuit we covered today, and now this, and it kind of in the same area, in the same vicinity.
Well, definitely, we're definitely in the valley. There's no doubt about that. And the other one started basically out here in the Winnetka area, so we are kind of close by. These speeds, though, this is nothing like the earlier pursuit. The earlier pursuit was very, very slow going. This guy's going 90 miles an hour on Corbin. And, you know, a lot of folks might say, what does that mean? If you don't live in the valley, you might not understand that. These are not the roads where you go have those kind of speeds, and I am very concerned that this is going to end poorly. That driver's got the window down, and you can actually see some agitation right there. I'm agitated every time he starts passing all those slowed and stopped vehicles at every stoplight. I don't want to see this thing crash. I don't want to see anybody get injured. Making a hard turn, hard on the brakes, then he's going to get squeezing right through there.
Squeezing through.
Yeah.
Squeezing through.
Whoa!
Oh!
Spike strips. Spike strips. Those were spike strips. I don't know if that worked. That officer, again, was tossing out those spike strips. It looked like he actually threw it at the van, not under it, but still, at least there was that opportunity, and that officer, you know, putting himself in danger. That suspect could have easily swerved and crashed into him, but actually he threw those spike strips. We're going to keep an eye on that driver's side wheel. Maybe we'll see something. A flat tire would definitely bring this thing to an end, and I believe...
Wait a minute.
He did it. He did it. Woo! Look at that.
Wow.
So we got 2 flat tires right now on the Caravan. And you know what? I am excited about this, but this does not bring it to an end. This actually might have made this more dangerous. These high speeds, 2 flat tires going 60 miles an hour on Tampa, I am worried. I am beyond worried. Hopefully that driver is going to have the good common sense to basically just kind of pull this over or find a way to where, you know, just get out and try to run. Keeping up these speeds with flat tires on a Caravan, I'm not thinking it is just a bunch of bad. It is just a bunch of bad, and I just hope this ends well.
I'm shocked that spike strip worked, because from my vantage point, at least, it looked like he just hit the car. He didn't go underneath it. But was that the first time spike strips were attempted?
Yes. As far as we know, that was the first time we got to spike strips.
And
this thing is starting to really start to smoke, really start to weave. He's starting to lose control over it. He has slowed down, but you know, we went from 80 to 55, and this is going to be a very busy part of town again as we're making our way up towards Rinaldi on Tampa. I'm just hoping that van gives up before that, you know, before there's a problem. I'm going to make that. Looks like we're really starting to slow down and stop. There he is. He is out. and he's going to try to run on foot. Now, where's the LAPD? I'm sure they're nearby, and you can run all you want, but I don't think he's going to outrun any kind of vehicle. Making the run there, making it going into, yeah, this is a gas station. I hope his plan is not to try to take somebody's car. He's underneath that awning right there. We're going to stay a little bit wider. Not that I'm not trying to see him, but if he tries to steal somebody's car, I want to see that vehicle make their way out.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on now.
I don't think so. I think he's still underneath the, I didn't see him come out of the awning.
I didn't see him come out either.
I didn't see him come out either. LAPD's in the area. Uh-oh.
No way.
Uh-oh.
No way.
Uh-oh. That's what I was talking about.
What?
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Oh.
And there he goes. And in a BMW, you know, I don't know if this is a plus or a minus, but this is not good at all. LAPD, the helicopter, I'm sure has it. Yep, I'm looking out the window. I can actually show it to you guys. The LAPD has it right there. You've got another black and white joining that pursuit. And now we're going southbound on Tampa. Araxia, have we ever seen something that crazy?
I cannot believe that. I saw that he ran. Wait a minute. Is there? I'm trying to look at the passenger.
I hope there's not somebody in that car.
I'm trying to look at that passenger side. The windows are so tinted, it's difficult. When he ran towards that gas station, I saw several people were filling up and their doors were open, and he ran past one individual. I was like, okay, good, you know, safe in that sense. But, you know, the fact that this guy is a wanted carjacker, and the first vehicle he carjacked, it didn't, you know, we didn't put it past him that he'd do it again. And sure enough, he did it again with this BMW. I am just hoping no one is in that vehicle.
Well, I'm sure if somebody's inside that vehicle, they're going to be putting up a fight. I know I definitely would, or at least I'd be trying to figure out something right there. But, oh, my gosh, look at this. We're getting back up into those high speeds on Tampa. Now we're going southbound, heading towards Rinaldi, and using those center dividers. And look at those speeds, almost touching triple digits. This was one of the reasons why I was worried when I saw it was a BMW. We just went from a van to a BMW, and this driver definitely always pushing those vehicles to the limit. Hard on the brakes, and then making our way on to, I believe this is going to be Lassen. And we're continuing on right there. Center divider, and this vehicle continuing to move. I got to tell you, Araxia, I got to tell you, I am that guy that, especially on hot days, I don't shut off my car when I'm filling it up. But you know what? I'm from now on in, those keys, that button is pushed, the car is off, and those keys are staying with me.
Oh no, you know what, Stu? I have covering these pursuits and doing the job I do. I am so careful with stuff like that. That key is with me at all times. I do not mess around. And this is an example of that, you know. The people had absolutely no idea that this was going on and going about their daily lives, and here you go. I am just thinking also the fact that, well, this was a gas station, and this BMW likely perhaps has a full tank now, too.
Yeah, a full tank or maybe needed gas, but he's got enough gas to get away. That is for sure. I kind of wonder if it was that one guy that was just walking away, and you saw him turn around, and look back. But I mean, it could have been, you know, there could have been something else going on. There might have been the driver of that car might have just been yelling like, "Hey, what are you doing? That's my car." But at any rate, we saw that carjacking happen. LAPD, they are in pursuit. This vehicle now on Winnetka once again, moving at 100 miles an hour, and we're making our way into the heart of the valley. Luckily, I think that was a red light, but again, that was one of those ones where, you know, there was nobody in that intersection. Beyond lucky. LAPD has 2 helicopters on this right now. Believe me, they want to take this guy into custody. I want to see this guy in custody. This is just beyond ludicrous. And right now, using that center divider, 102 miles an hour, so he's in the triple. Wow. And then making that hard turn right there, and now we're on Parthenia, and but we're moving to the west, so we're heading out towards the West Valley area. But my goodness, what an afternoon! And these people that are on the ground down there just driving about, doing their business, hot day, and you got this lunatic driving by you, 100 miles an hour. This is uncalled for and definitely beyond dangerous.
And it seems like majority of this pursuit, he has stayed, for the most part, on surface streets. That's kind of where he's sticking.
Right now he is. We did see him on the freeway for a little bit. Where we went live, but this is one of those ones where that BMW, at least he's got a little bit of performance. But even that car, I mean, I'm not putting anybody down, but it's one of these ones. I mean, if you're hard on the gas, hard on the brake, hard on the gas, that car is going to start taking a beating. Those brakes are going to start heating up. The performance level is going to drop, and then that driver, I don't, even though we haven't seen anything yet, I can tell you this guy is just running on luck and adrenaline, and one of the two is going to run out, and hopefully this that won't happen where somebody gets injured. Continuing to weave around, center divider, high speeds, and we're staying on Mason right now, and I believe we're making our way southbound on Mason, so we're heading kind of into the Winnett. We're out of the Winnetka area over towards the Woodland Hills area, but it was a very busy intersection right there. And just in a little bit more residential, and I see those cars blocking them in, and I'm actually kind of happy.
Weaving in and out, weaving in and out.
Yeah, what do you do?
With the fact that he just got away for now, at least for now, with this second carjacking.
That's an LA. Is that LAPD or is that CHP? I think that's LAPD behind him right there.
I was just thinking the fact that he got away for now, again, because this is limited, with the second carjacking, it emboldens someone like this person who doesn't care, obviously, and at this point really has nothing to lose, and they're just going to go all in, which just makes it so dangerous for everyone else on the road.
Definitely so dangerous on everybody on the road. And this almost hit that Tesla. And this is the thing right now. They have one LAPD unit on the ground,
going the wrong way.
Solid wrong way. And the helicopter, the LAPD helicopter, lost sight of it. So hopefully I know Dylan is trying to work with them, and they're going to try to regain at least a location for the LAPD. But I'm sure that there's communication going on. Somebody from LAPD is watching our picture right now and getting some information and passing it along. But still very, very high speeds. They had that one Explorer, all white Explorer from LAPD that was trying to keep up. And this is the thing, too. That officer is not going to put people's lives in danger. And this guy going 100 miles an hour on these surface streets, I'm sure the officer is going to do what he can, but there's going to be a limit where he's just going to say, I'm not going to be the one responsible for somebody's passing or injury, so I'm going to back down. But right now, this car is still continuing to move along, extremely high speeds, and again, beyond lucky. A lot of green lights, a lot of weaving in and out, a lot of close calls. I'm sure some of those people don't even know how close they came to being involved in a very bad accident this afternoon.
Yeah, this is just unbelievable and terrible, and it just keeps going and going. At this point, we haven't seen what's going on down below as far as the attempting a spike strip. They were so successful with that first vehicle. But we don't know, at this, there it is, where we're going to see it on your right. There you see how fast that happened. On your right, you saw how they were able to get those spike strips in motion, and that vehicle lost both of its the front tire and the back tire, and then that led that carjacking suspect to ditch that car and go to the gas station, basically ran in, took advantage of the fact that there was a vehicle. There he is running in. We started worrying, thinking, oh no, someone else might get carjacked. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. He runs over there, took the opportunity, I guess, someone over there. I think that's the car, Stu, maybe you can't see, but I believe someone was walking away from their vehicle, and that is the car he ended up taking.
I saw that person, and you see him like turn around. He turns around, point, right?
Yeah, he turns around, and he's confused, and the police cruisers go into that gas station, but they didn't make it in time, because immediately, you will see in a moment, that BMW come out of there, and the chase is on. And so on your left-hand side, you're seeing what's happening live right now, the reckless driving, the weaving in and out of traffic, going the wrong direction, but this is how it all played out to this point. Yeah, he took off. He took off with that one vehicle. So that person just left their car keys, I guess, in the car, or the car was running, and just walked away from their car going into the convenience store.
You know, again, I am that guy, but I'm not going to be that guy anymore. We made our way all the way from Winnetka out to the Woodland Hills area. This continuing on, making that westbound turn. Now we're on Irwin. This is another smaller street. Shoop out here. I was just going to say, doesn't it dead end? And it does right there. Making that hard turn onto Shoop. We're heading out towards. I'm almost wondering, because you did mention the word Ventura as the city where this all started, or in the Ventura County area. You know, we're not kind of going directly. You had many opportunities probably to get on the 118, but we are kind of weaving our way over towards the 101. Perhaps this is going to get on the 101 and Ventura is going to be our destination. Right now, I can tell you Shoop is where we are. High speeds is what's going on. That vehicle continues to move along, and it also, another thing that bothers me is that he's choosing that right lane so much, and you know there's slower traffic, you know that people might be coming out of an intersection. You take a look and he's like, it's clear. You don't expect somebody to be doing 100 miles an hour, and they, you know, you think it's clear. You pull out into the roadway, and that could be the problem. Slowing down here, looks like we're making another turn, another gas station. I hope it's another. I hope it's not another swap of vehicles, because there's a lot of traffic out here, and that vehicle now stopping.
Oh my goodness!
Just wait here. Just wait here. Just wait here.
Yes.
I'm going to stay a little bit wider, but this is one of those ones where, you know, is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
That's him. That's him.
He's looking. He's looking.
Yeah, he's looking. He's looking to see if there's a car running and if there's an opportunity abound. And this is so predatorial. This is scary to see.
I wonder why he pulled in here, because I'm thinking, I just assumed, oh, the BMW maybe had a full tank of gas at this point. Maybe it didn't. Maybe he was running out of gas.
Yep. Yeah, it's not him. We're keeping an eye on it. We're just staying. I think he went back into that BMW. Just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on right there. Don't want to really move.
Oh, my God.
This is a Chevron. This is a Chevron. This is a Chevron at the corner of Shoop and Clarendon. This is Clarendon. There we go. LAPD pulling in. That was the one behind him that whole time. It was a California Highway Patrol. I knew. I'm not saying it like that either. There you go. The pursuit is going to be back on. But this California Highway Patrol not going to play. I have a feeling that officer is going to try to lock this guy down. And there, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, on the sidewalk. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And just kind of weaving around. California Highway Patrol getting behind him again, taking one of those little side streets out here. Oh, come on, come on, come on. This is actually an alleyway, and this brings you out, and there's construction workers. And this brings us out over to the 101, I think. Okay, back out onto Ventura Boulevard.
I guess the BMW is not out of gas.
No.
He was just looking to make a switch.
Yep, make a switch and maybe try to throw the scent for the officers. But there are so many eyes on him right now. All our Fox viewers, I'm sure they are watching, and maybe anybody on the internet as well. I don't want to say it like that, but I don't think this guy is going to get away. But I just hope it doesn't end in somebody being hurt, and that includes that driver. Right now, though, this is road construction out here on Ventura Boulevard, out in the Woodland Hills area. But that vehicle still continuing about 60 miles an hour, and I think the LAPD helicopter back overhead. I'm going to try to clear that up with I'm sorry, with my pilot this afternoon, but keeping an eye on it for sure. And these high speeds, dangerous situation, and of course that driver behind the wheel, and you know that adrenaline's got to be slowing down for that guy, and hopefully he starts making some positive. Another gas station. Going to try it again.
Oh my!
Going to try it again.
I don't see any cars there. No, he just went out.
Nope. Oh! And that's what I knew. That CHP, CHP officer not going to play. Hopefully that didn't disable that officer's vehicle. I'm staying a little wider. He's trying to make a U-turn. I'm wondering if it damaged his steering, because he did kind of sideswipe him when he had that wheel turn. But that BMW definitely striking that officer's vehicle, and now continuing on even higher speeds back onto that portion of the Ventura Boulevard where they're doing that road construction. There we go. You got LAPD or another California Highway Patrol getting involved in there, and they're going to get behind him. I don't know if they're going to match those speeds, though, because this is extremely dangerous, especially on surface streets.
I was also thinking when he pulled into that gas station where it looked like he was going to make a switch, perhaps now we know the answer that there was no one else in that vehicle because that individual or individuals would have taken that opportunity to get out. So at least that's good news. There is no one in there.
Another gas station.
Another gas station.
Another gas station.
Is that the same one?
Another gas station. No, is this the same one that, oh, this is, yes, we're back where we started.
Huh. Oh, okay,
no,
this is a narco. It's a narco. It's a narco.
Okay, all right, this is a different one.
Yeah.
Wait, we got a van tearing out of there. He did the swap.
He
did the swap.
No. He did. This is
unbelievable. Three. We're at 3 vehicles. This is the second one that we've seen, and we understand that that van was also a carjacking victim. So that van continuing on right there, that's definitely him. There's no doubt about it. Using those center lanes, picking up those high speeds again, and we're on Ventura Boulevard coming up to Topanga. And, you know, and this is the thing, too. You're swapping vehicles like that. That black and white, not sure, but definitely, hopefully makes a U-turn, but he's not coming back up onto Topanga Canyon. But you got to think, you went from a Caravan to a BMW to a full-size Econoline. You know, I don't even know if they call them that anymore. It's not. It's a Chevy. But so you went to a full-size Chevy van. So, you know, this is the thing. It's like these are all very different types of vehicles. This is a very different type of driving for that vehicle. There you go. That officer from LAPD didn't get the rope-a-dope, and they are now right behind him once again. So this van's starting to move, and again, a lot of traffic, and he's making his way into more of a high traffic area coming up, and looks like we are going to be getting onto the 101. This is going to get so dangerous.
Oh my gosh, this is just unbelievable. I mean, really, one of the morals of the stories, be careful when you're at a gas station and keep your keys on you and don't leave them in the vehicle. Lock your doors. Although if you have a keyless starter, that doesn't help either because you can just be close enough to the car and someone's able to start your car. But wow, this is just, it's just, I don't even have the words for it because I don't think we've ever seen something like this.
You can see the gas cap and the door open. Really, there's so much traffic out here. I was staying tight on there. I just wanted to just get a better look at it, but I need to stay a little bit wider. Take a look at all that traffic. You just saw those maneuvers that driver made. Anybody knows the 101 is going to be really busy, and it looks like he knows it now, too, and he's going to be getting back off the freeway. Looks like it's going to be the DeSoto off-ramp, and again, the speed's about 60 miles an hour on the off-ramp. If there is a plus, maybe that van not going to have that acceleration, not going to have those top speeds, but that driver keeping his foot in it, now up onto the sidewalk or the curb, whatever you want to call it over there, making his way onto DeSoto and cutting across traffic. There you go, California Highway Patrol waiting for him, and a lot of traffic underneath that bridge, a little bit of a fishtail, and back onto the highway he goes, the opposite direction.
Yeah, he's back on. For a second there, I thought he was exiting to go to another gas station. Seems like...
Wouldn't have shocked us, huh? I mean, that seems to be his MO. But definitely, there's a lot of lessons to be learned, and one of them is definitely do not keep your vehicle running or the keys in it when you're getting fuel. Believe me, I am not doing that ever again. Look at that. Okay, there you go. LAPD helicopter in the shot right there. Always makes a nice picture. But right now, he's trying to hug in that right lane, and now right behind that other vehicle. I just don't want to see him make contact with anybody at high speeds, especially on the freeway. We don't want to see somebody losing control. But again, this is the the second one that we've actually witnessed. Third carjacking as we understand it. Right. That van continuing to move along. We're westbound or northbound on the 101, heading out of the Woodland Hills area, out towards Calabasas.
Yep, I know, and we're watching this. You know, volume is picking up. It's already almost 2 in the afternoon, so there are a lot of people out on the roads, and again, most of these people have no idea what's happening, so that's always the danger. That gas cap is out, so one would think perhaps, I mean, 2 things can happen. The car is full of gas and the guy didn't have time to put the cap on, or it's about to run out of gas.
It's going to need some fuel.
One extreme
or the other.
But you just don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know. I mean, my parents, when they were driving, half a tank meant empty to them. With me, I'm waiting for, I'm always doing the, oh, do I got my AAA card? Because I'm always running on empty.
So
but just don't know this person's, you just don't know this person's driving habits. That the owner of the van, the guy driving that van, we know his driving habits. We've been watching it. 100 miles an hour on surface streets, cutting in and out, cutting off people, many a close call, and it looks like thinking about, but not. It looks as if we were going to take the off-ramp there, went through that gore point, and again, really high speeds, hard on the brakes because there's a lot of traffic out there this afternoon. I don't know if he's going to try to get back off the freeway. Right now, though, looks like we're northbound on the 101. Calabasas will be the next big city, but, or next city, as it would be. But you said, This started in the Ventura area. That vehicle was stolen out of Ventura, so maybe we're going back to Ventura.
Just trying to figure out what was the purpose of this third carjacking. Did he really think that was going to throw the police off? What was the point of that?
Who knows?
I know.
Really,
this is just
truly.
us speculating, but
yeah. You just don't know with any of these suspects. I get those questions too a lot when I talk to friends and family, and people that watch Fox, and they were just curious. They ask me all the time. It's like, what is that guy thinking? And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, and it would be fun to have one, maybe just to talk to, but I'm sure that psychologists won't know either. I always just believe that whoever's inside driving that vehicle right now is just trying to get away, thinking that maybe he's going to be able to do it, or just enjoying his last few moments of not being in custody. But right now, we're going 90 miles an hour, 101 freeway, and you can watch it right there. We're coming up in the Calabasas area. A lot of weaving in and out, and he seems to really like that right shoulder.
Might be thinking of an exit. Nope,
yep, might be thinking of an exit.
Maybe change the mind.
But we'll keep an eye on it. And again, this is the deal. 100 miles an hour, full-size Chevy van, work van. If this vehicle taps or bumps into somebody, it's not going to go well. And I can also see that vehicle, it is not a BMW. Oh, look at that.
Oh, bump that car.
That little Mini Cooper, and it was a nice one too. That little blue. Thank goodness he didn't lose control, but definitely is going to have some damage. So we did see one collision out there that's going to be on the 101 near Las Virgenes, and that was that little blue Mini Cooper convertible. So that person probably not very happy about what happened, but I'm hoping that California Highway Patrol might be behind him still. Even at these high speeds, they've got to be in the general area. LAPD definitely above. I won't lose the car or the van as it would be, but just kind of getting a better idea of traffic or if there's law enforcement. I don't see anybody behind them.
I don't see any. I don't see any other. So Stu, we're about 1:56 here, close to 2 o'clock. I'm going to step away. Marla is coming in now to relieve me, but I'm going to fill her in on what's happening so she's caught up, and we can give our audience a chance to catch up too if they're just joining us. So basically, Marla, this was a carjacking. Well, actually started in Burbank, apparently, and the first vehicle this suspect had was involved in a collision of some sort with a law enforcement vehicle. And then, that's the first vehicle. During the pursuit, they were able to successfully administer the spike strip, right? So loses the tire, he parks, gets out. Look at him. He's running in. He's going to run into that gas station because that car was pointless at that point to drive. Both of the tires had gone out. Look, he's going to take that BMW, that white BMW in the back. The person who owns that car had stepped away. See the person who had stepped away? They kind of turn around. They look to see what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So he's jumping in. Law enforcement pulls in a number of black and whites, but they're late. He's already in the car, and you're going to see him in a moment take off. By the way, you're looking live on the left side of your screen. On the right side, we're showing you what led to this very moment where we are right now. So we're playing that for you. There he is in the white BMW on the right side of your screen. He takes off.
How long was he in the BMW
So he was
for?
in the BMW for, I don't know, Stu, what would you say, like 20 minutes or so? Something like that.
Something like, yeah, 20 minutes or so. It made really good time. He started up in the Winnetka area, wound up in Woodland Hills, and that's where he did that swap, right?
Right, so he swapped. So now he's in the BMW. No one else was in this vehicle. Then, during the drive, he comes to this gas station. Okay, now he's at this other gas station, and now you're not going to see him do this, but he swaps again. He carjacks the van.
The van that he's currently in.
The van he's currently in. So this is vehicle number 3, carjacked, vehicle number 3. And you see him take off, and that's where we are now. Jumped on the freeway. And so we have 3 vehicles that this suspect stole. And the pursuit is on. He's driving recklessly, weaving in and out of traffic, as you can see.
Yep.
He's
very scary for drivers
bumped
out
a
there.
number of cars, really scary, going the wrong way, completely, just one of those, has nothing to lose at this point. So that makes it all the more dangerous. So this is where we are, and we'll see what happens next.
Okay, Araxia, well, thank you. I know you've had a long day. I will pick it up from here. Marlatea is here relieving Araxia as we're looking live at this wild pursuit, the second wild pursuit, I will say, of the day. I know, Stu and crew, you were over a pursuit that lasted hours involving a cement truck. That was today, if you can believe it, and here we are all these hours later, and the clock is just about to strike 2. Yep. And we have a second wild pursuit, as Araxia just outlined for me. This is the 3rd carjacked vehicle. This one here is a white van. This is now in the San Fernando Valley. Stu, go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
We're in the Agora Hills area actually right now, and you got Ventura, California Highway Patrol. Just got off the 101 freeway. Reyes Adobe. He got off, and then he's now you can see him making his way back over, and it looks like we're going to be getting back onto the freeway. California Highway Patrol right behind him. Now, whoa! Oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. But I was going to say, California Highway Patrol out here in the Ventura area, they all have and they all have procedures that they have to follow. But it seems that we've followed a couple of them in the past, and the officers out here in California Highway Patrol out in the Ventura area, they're a little bit more aggressive, and they do not appreciate suspects speeding and pursuing on their freeways. So right there, you've got one of the two maybe of the California Highway Patrol vehicles making their way, trying to catch up to that white van. That van actually in the triple digits. That's not a mistake on Skyfox. Every now and then when we go wide, those numbers go wild, but you can see it right there, but just touching the 100-mile-an-hour mark, just into those triple digits, moving very, very quickly. Don't know what's inside that van, but I would venture to say it cannot be that heavy. So that is a very light vehicle in the rear. We have seen it fishtail a couple of times, so that driver, clearly, right now we haven't seen any problems, but this would be a good vehicle for a pit maneuver if they slow down. There's no way they're going to do it at any kind of 100 miles an hour. But if he's getting off an off-ramp and there's an opportunity, these officers from California Highway Patrol, I would put money on it that they will try to make that pit maneuver. Right now, though, we're going about 100 miles an hour. California Highway Patrol, they're the ones on the ground behind it. In the air, I believe that we still have the LAPD with us. PD-10 is still with us, so that's great news for those officers. They're going to get good information where it is and where it's going. But right now, you've got 2 California Highway Patrol officers. You got that polar bear. That's that all-white one. And then you've got the standard right there. And then, of course, that suspect vehicle. And like I said, on the freeways, these officers, they're going to keep up with that vehicle the best they can and keep it safe. But I'm telling you, if the opportunity arises on an off-ramp or some kind of surface street, they might make that move, and we're going to hopefully see a good pit maneuver. Right now, traffic's starting to get a little tight out there, Marla, and that always worries me, especially because we've seen them already clip one vehicle today. That was that little Mini Cooper, I think, right before you got on the studio.
That.
Yeah,
I
feel
that
bad for that driver.
Get sideswiped or get clipped. Fortunately, not too much damage, but nonetheless, I mean, it's just, you can't even imagine what that must be like as you're cruising along at the speed limit on a Wednesday afternoon, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get clipped by a pursuit suspect. So this is the Thousand Oaks area, US 101 North. The exit they just passed was Ventura. Speeds upwards of getting close to 100 miles an hour. We've seen it beyond the triple digit thus far. Extremely dangerous, erratic driving by this suspect. We can tell you that it is one male suspect. We've seen this person because they've literally gotten out of their vehicle to carjack another vehicle. This is the third vehicle that this person has carjacked. It is a white van. Now on the shoulder there, Stu, you know, I know the big question for law enforcement is beyond, you know, motive and what's driving the suspect and potentially, you know, strong mental health issues involved. Whatever the case may be, they also always treat these suspects as if they're armed.
Well, they always have that in mind, that this person may be armed, and the fact that he's taken a couple of other vehicles might indicate that maybe he has something more than harsh language or luck with him when he's doing these car swaps. You know, the first vehicle that we were told was a carjacking vehicle all over the road, and you see what I'm talking about with those fishtailing, that rear end swerving back and forth. A lot of traffic, so the suspect's deciding to get off that freeway. Gonna just go a little bit wider. I want to see where those California Highway Patrol are. Now he's going to make his way down to the end of that, and it looks like a lot of traffic. This might be that opportunity that California Highway Patrol needs to get up behind him and then maybe be able to do that pit maneuver behind the trees right there, and it looks like we're just getting off to get back on.
Oh, no.
And what is he doing now?
Trying to make a U-turn right here.
No.
It's going to get boxed in. It's going to get boxed in.
Yep.
By the
this is
polar
what
bear.
I'm talking about.
Oh, and straight
Ventura
in the middle.
Yep, the California Highway Patrol, Ventura, they do not play. I told you that earlier on, and they are really showing it to us again right there. And again, this is, you know, somebody might say, oh, that was it's not. You saw what this guy was doing. You saw those carjackings. We hope, thank goodness, there wasn't anybody in any of those other cars. But right now, that van, stuck-ish. But is it shut down? Is the engine off? Is this person complying? I don't know. And if he decides to run and, you know, crashes into another officer, the hands are out.
Hands are out. It looks like finally he will surrender. So this is the Moore Park Road exit in Thousand Oaks, right off the 101. That was quite the showing of force from Ventura Police and also CHP. Ventura Police are involved, right? Or the Sheriff's Department?
No, this is just going to be the California Highway Patrol. California Highway Patrol. This is going to be the Ventura division of them, and you can see it right there. They got officers. They got this guy down on the ground. I'm sure that's hot pavement, but right now, you know what? Oddly enough, I just don't care that much for his comfort. Anyways, he is on the ground. He is spread out. He is complying. Officers from the California Highway Patrol out here in force. And again, what an ending to a crazy pursuit. But that's the thing. If they wouldn't have taken those measures, this could have continued and it could have ended tragically. And right now, you just have some damage to a couple of vehicles and the California Highway Patrol capturing somebody that was involved in a crash, injuring an officer, possibly injuring an officer that we heard earlier on. But right now, that suspect in custody, Marla, coming to a successful end out here in the Ventura County area.
Now officially in handcuffs by CHP officers down below. Again, we do want to applaud those CHP officers for taking these extreme measures to finally bring this to an end. Extremely dangerous pursuit involving, you see the young man down there now being taken to a black and white, involved in what we deem to be 3 carjackings. So we're happy that he is now in custody. We're sorry for those involved and whose vehicles were damaged as a result of his erratic driving. Stu, it looks like his demeanor, like he has a few choice words for deputies down there, for officers. Yeah,
definitely. He is cooperating. He might be a little bit vocal, but you know what? In the end, I'm just happy that nobody was seriously hurt. And again, not clear on injuries on that officer, but that suspect involved in an earlier pursuit this afternoon that was short-lived, but an officer from LAPD was involved in an accident. And then that car popped up again, and then they saw it was a short pursuit, but he lost those officers, and then they found that vehicle because they really were looking for him. But in the end, California Highway Patrol doing what needed to be done, bringing this to a stop, and that suspect now in custody. But you can see him right there, a little unhappy about his situation. I'm happy the public is safe and that this is over finally with no major injuries.
Yeah, we're all happy about that. Thank goodness. I think we do want to show our viewers the ending of how this all came to a conclusion finally. This is the Moore Park Road off-ramp and he gets boxed in. We're still not seeing, I know we're working to show you how this all came to an end, but this suspect took that exit there, tried to make a U-turn. There it is. And to no avail, then gets blocked in, and then that CHP cruiser just slams right into the middle just to make sure, sort of the nail in the coffin, if you will. Unfortunately, the suspect didn't run. You'll see in a moment, hands come out, and then you see on the end, on your left side of your screen, the smaller box. That is the conclusion. So this suspect finally making his way out of this stolen white van from a nearby gas station, and now that suspect is officially in custody. So officers' guns were drawn for just a short time before the suspect decided to surrender, thankfully. So the left, again, the smaller box, that is a live picture of the suspect now being hauled away, wearing black long shorts, a white T-shirt. Officers down below taking him elsewhere, I suppose. Maybe there's another transporting vehicle. Yeah, to put him in a car up ahead. And now they have to contend with, you know, who does this van belong to? Who does the other van belong to? Lots of connecting the dots here, Stu, and then we're going to wrap this up.
A lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of paperwork for a lot of officers. But again, you just got to hand it to California Highway Patrol, especially the Ventura County officers. Saw that opportunity. That window opened up, and they jumped through it, and they brought this to an end. Again, though, we saw this van actually getting carjacked, but in the Woodland Hills area. But right now, it is over and finished. Might be a crime scene here for a little bit, but I'm sure California Highway Patrol on-ramp open in no time.
All right, Stu, well, thank you to the crew. You've had a very busy day of pursuits. We will, again, remind you this is the exit at Moore Park Road and 101 in Thousand Oaks, so you're going to want to avoid this if you can. We'll work to get some more information for you and bring that to you coming up tonight on the Fox 11 News at 5 o'clock with Alex Michelson and Christine Devine, and then you'll see me at 6 o'clock. So for now, I'm Marla Tejas in the Fox 11 studio. We're going to send you on.
You're just watching there our Fox 11 team as that concludes the pursuit there taking place in Los Angeles as they carjacked 3 individuals. You can see 29,000 of you tuning in here on our multi-platinum or multi-service stream service here on Live Now from Fox. Let's take you right back out as we continue on. This is a live picture right there here overhead of that exit that we just saw taking place from just a little bit ago. The second long pursuit we saw earlier today, one with a concrete mixing truck, as we saw that for 3+ hours earlier on today. This one with a carjacking there with 3 different vehicles involved in a expansive area in Southern California. Let's take you right back, though, to some of these incidents from a little bit earlier, as it started with a van, as a white van there pulling into a gas station. Let's watch this from our previously recorded section, our Live Now replay. As you can see, this was in the first vehicle there as he approaches a gas station and tries to carjack another individual. You can see him running along the street. At this point, he was just there for a stolen vehicle, approaching a gas station, trying to find a different vehicle, and he eventually does. It leads to this other different white, smaller sedan vehicle, compact car. There at this gas station. You see police arriving there shortly at this, as you can see there, Tampa Avenue as well, and they are trying to box him in to this gas station, but to no avail, as he would eventually get out and back on the run one more time. You can see the helicopters overhead from just a little bit ago, as our helicopter, our Sky Fox cam, was monitoring this. You can see there in that white vehicle as officers are out of their vehicle trying to stop him. He eludes them and goes to a different exit to get on the run one more time. Of course, that happened, and then a little later on, after he goes to yet another gas station. This also, as he's in his second vehicle, now pulling into yet another gas station looking for a third vehicle. You can see him pulling into there, and there is that white van that would ultimately end this chase. As the Skyfox cam overhead one more time, you can kind of see as police again pulling into this gas station and him pulling out. You can see him eluding police on Ventura Boulevard there, heading toward the 101. So this was the third car he carjacked there, and it ultimately led to this. You can see the gas cap still open on that as we are still watching this here. And then it ended with this, as he's getting off an exit, boxed in by police, by just a median there. As you can see, some traffic. Those citizens didn't really know what was happening, and you might imagine they are not aware. They're just in their cars, not on their phones, not watching Fox 11 or Live Now from Fox. He tries to elude police, get back around, but that's where CHP, the California Highway Patrol, rams into the vehicle on this freeway entrance on the North 101. That eventually leads to the apprehension of this individual there. Just a single male that we watched here on Live Now from Fox. A scary incident. 3 different vehicles carjacked there in Southern California before bringing this individual into custody. I'm Andy Mack. Let's sign away for a quick 2-minute break.